Happy New Year, fam! I am so happy to kick off yet another video, but most importantly, another year for all of us. It is Aries season. We're going to be talking about this Aries new moon, and that means we are officially in the new year. The kickoff has already happened, and I want to pretty much tell you, all the ways that you can utilize this Aries new moon to make everything that you want to happen in this upcoming new year possible, in addition to just what did you learn in the last year and how we can use that moving forward. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, welcome. It's your girl B, your astrologer extraordinaire. We talk about all things astrology, spirituality, mindset, everything on this channel. Okay, so this is really about elevating. This is why we're Elevation 44, right? This community is about elevating. So in this video, we're going to break down the Aries new moon and all the details around that. I'm super excited. I don't know if you can tell, my energy level is really high because I have some things that have been happening in my life behind the scenes that I kind of want to share with you in terms of how it's tying into all of this, and hopefully it gives you some motivation for some of the things that you are going through in your own life, or some of the lessons that you can pull out of it in order to help yourself as well. Okay, so let's just get started so that this video isn't long. I don't want to be on here talking for forever like I usually do. Let's just try a little something different. Okay, so this Aries new moon is going to be happening on the 1st of April. Yes, the 1st of April. Isn't that like a beautiful start date, like right at the start of the month, and it feels like just like a clean slate. So April 1st, and it's going to happen at 2:24 a.m. Eastern time. So if you are in a time zone a few hours behind Eastern time, this will be happening on March 31st for you. But for most of us, it's going to be happening on April 1st. All right. Now, if you are in a different time zone, go ahead and translate that so you can see the exact time of the new moon, especially if you really want to be specific about some of the rituals or some of the work that you're doing and you want to time it with the new moon. But you always have 3 days around the new moon energy to work with it. So don't feel the need to do it right on the dot, but sometimes timing is important for whatever you can be working on. Okay, so this new moon is also going to be at 11 degrees. Okay, so 11 degrees is a master number. It is a master number in numerology. It really is about individuality, but it is all about spiritual mastery. It's almost like another level of spiritual awakening. So I feel like what this new year is going to show us, it's going to peel back some more layers and take us up, some additional levels. So I think that collectively we're looking around and we're seeing that there is an awakening happening. Yes, there are some people who are still dead asleep, right? But there is enough change in terms of values as a collective that we are going through that is being seen on a grand scale. So I feel like there's more levels of spiritual awakening and mastery that we're about to go through in this upcoming year. So this is awakening, and it is also a redirection. This 11 number really represents a redirection of energy. Okay, so the master number 11 is helping us really take it up a notch in this next year, and it's not the same take it up a notch that we're used to. It's a different level of opening things up. And Aries season is about passion, it's about drive, it's about initiation, it's about pushing things forward, getting the ball rolling, getting the momentum started. And that's why Aries always kicks off the start of the new year, and it is the leader in the procession of all the rest of the zodiac signs, because Aries knows how to do that best. Okay, Pisces season, this last new moon in Pisces, and this whole Pisces season that we spent before we transitioned into Aries season, and I'm sure you felt the switch in the uptick in energy. Pisces season was having us reflect. It's the ending. It's the culmination of all the lessons learned in the previous cycle, and just all of the things that we had to digest. I would say Pisces was the digestion season. Like, okay, let me digest all this information, all of these experiences, my feelings, and let me like sit with it and come to terms with it and pull what I can out of it. And those lessons and everything that we have experienced in the previous cycle, we're looking to like, utilize that. And we have done a lot of healing. I know we've done a lot of healing. If you're on this channel, you've done some healing. We've done a lot of thinking. We've done a, checking of our thoughts and just, going with those internal battles and going back and forth and just really allowing ourselves to evolve and grow in this process and flow through it all. So I know Pisces season brought up some stuff. It brought up some stuff that we had to confront in terms of like, how we dealt with things, how we didn't deal with things, the things that still need to be addressed. And this is giving us a new cycle in order to take that work up to the next level, because the work is never done. The inner work is never done. It is going to be a constant ongoing thing until we take our last breath here. Okay, so just know that. But with Pisces season, one of the major things that came out of that Pisces new moon message that we were here talking together about was this whole thing about stepping into faith and stepping out of our fears. Like shedding those fears, really moving out of that fear, scarcity mindset, lack mentality, just playing small, just keeping ourselves like restricted, and knowing that we were doing it to ourselves, that nobody else was doing this, no one's suppressing us, that we were allowing ourselves to be in that space. And we said, hey, these are the things that we're identifying that are fear-based, that are ways that we are keeping ourselves trapped, and these are the ways that we can now start to move out of that by having more faith, by stepping into the unknown, by not necessarily knowing the next step or seeing the next steps, but taking that next step with your eyes closed anyway, right? And for me personally, something that I wanted to share is that in my own personal life, I've been going through a lot of transformation as well. You guys know I have recently like switched locations. I've moved into a new place, and I have got this new energy around it. And I knew that this move was going to trigger a lot of different things in terms of changes that were happening around me. And for me, I don't want to come on here and talk the talk and not walk the walk. To me, that feels very inauthentic, and I'm not that person at all. Like, I say what I mean and I mean what I say, and I try to live by and stand by what I believe in, what I preach, and what I, talk about. So when I was talking about this whole message of, moving out of fear, stepping into faith, I'm like, there's something in my own life I knew, like I was making all these little like moves in these transitions, and I knew that there was one big thing that I had been called to address and do and was preparing for, and I knew it was time to press the button on it. So on the Pisces new moon, I decided to step away from my job, like my full-time 9-to-5 job. And this is a big deal for me on many levels, because I know people leave their jobs all the time, but this was my career. I had spent over a decade like really pouring into my career, really, doing the things that I needed to do to elevate in that aspect and making a name for myself, blazing a trail for myself. I've laid down so much legacy in my area of work that I was doing, and had almost become like an expert in my field of what I do. I was definitely in a position of comfort and could have just continued along that path, but had been getting this nagging feeling that I've been called to do something more, that this is not where my energy is best served, that this time was for lessons and gaining resources and making relationships and gaining new skills, but that was only to launch me into my next level or my next phase of life, which is more service-based in a different way. So it was highly uncomfortable, and it made me have to confront a lot of things about myself and a lot of the internal fears and things that I was holding on to, things around security and, different things like that. With that said, on the Pisces new moon, I decided to walk the walk. I'm like, I'm not just talking, I gotta walk too. And I've got to step into faith, and I decided to let it all go. I decided to let what I've been building for the past 14 years all go. And that was such a, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit of a scary moment, but it was such an empowering moment. And just the change that I'm going through, and I know what this new year lies ahead, I'm using this Aries new moon to really set into motion, or to really plant the seeds of what I want to blossom into this next cycle. And what beautiful way than to do it and honor it with the releasing in Pisces and moving forward with the new seeds in Aries season. So I just wanted to share that, just because if anyone else is feeling like there are things that they're still a little scared to let go of, like, you know, we got this. Like, we are divinely protected, we are guided, especially when we're using our intuition and we're listening to ourselves. And it doesn't mean that you don't go through those internal struggles and challenges, but use this season, use this Aries new moon to plant those new seeds of what you want to do moving forward, okay? So that is like really one of the main messages out of this Aries new moon. You know, you can hear my passion and drive. And I almost, like, I have this like thing with Aries season because I am an Aries moon. Like, that is where my moon sign sits in my natal chart. So there's something about initiation and passion and getting things pushed forward and started. I'm really good at that and really good with aligning with this energy. So you might hear a lot of this uptick because this is just kind of like my natural alignment. But hopefully this energy is, you know, being passed forward to you, and you're able to receive and, you know, pretty much, you know, get that to help spark you up as well. So there's a redirection happening here. I want to tell you two of the major things, like transit wise, that is happening with this Aries new moon, and how I think this is also going to impact what or ways things play out going forward. The first thing is that this Aries moon is going to be conjuncting Mercury. Now, Aries, we already talked about it. It's fire, it's passion, it's desire, it's drive, it's leadership, it's ambition, it's like go get 'em, it's like, it's the spark or fire, right? It is the initiator. That is Aries energy in you know, in a nutshell. And then you have Mercury, and Mercury is our communication, it's our thoughts, it is how we process, right? How we express ourselves. And when you have the combination of this, right, with Mercury sitting in the sign of Aries and conjunct this new moon, it's like, it really gives us like this like spark of new ideas, spark of like moving things forward, communicating very directly, very asserting ourselves in a certain way. It rejuvenates our thinking because it just kind of like puts an entirely new lens on things, and we're like, we can get excited or able to like really express ourselves and direct exactly what we're saying and what we're thinking without all of the muddled confusion, especially that confusion that can come up sometimes during Pisces season. So we're feeling confident, we're feeling assertive in expressing ourselves. And when it's aligning with the moon, this is our intuition really at play here. Like, now we're able to operate out of our intuitive knowing and be direct in how we're communicating and expressing ourselves in our thoughts and our actions and stuff like that. So this is just really about being you unapologetically. And then the other thing is that the new moon in Aries is going to be conjuncting Chiron, right? Chiron is the wounded healer, and Chiron has been sitting in Aries for a while now. And what Chiron has been doing while Chiron has been here, it's been really like peeling away the scabs, like, you know, reopening the scabs on some of our self-identity wounds, like the way that we identify the things that, the boxes that we put ourselves in, and how we feel inadequate in a lot of ways. This is really about how do we show up as our most authentic selves, and how do we accept ourselves no matter what society is telling us, no matter what, you know, has been outlined for us to do, like this is the right way or the right order to do things. It's like we're like ready to blaze our own path and speak our own truth and actually teach and show people how we have progressed and how we have, you know, come to this place of being our true and our authentic selves, because we had to heal all of these hurts and all these pains and all these things that we were carrying. We're going to be very vocal about our struggles. What are some of the things that we can do with this Aries new moon? So some of the things that we can do with this Aries new moon, definitely this is a time for putting those vision boards into action. We have been, sitting here thinking about the vision boards, the things that we, want to do, the things that we want to work on, heal, transform, in this next cycle, or level up in this next cycle. And this is the time to take those vision boards, right, that you have hopefully put up at the start of Aries season. If not, you can put it up now. It's not too late. But take those things and actually plant some of those seeds, like set some of those intentions in order, in motion right now. Whether you're doing a ritual, a candle magic around something that is on your vision board, whether you're scripting or writing out something that is on your vision board, whether you're like literally doing a meditative exercise on something where you're envisioning the future. And so, like, there are so many things that you can do, but start planting the seeds on those vision boards. The next thing is new ideas, right? So yes, we have our overall things that we want to work on in the next cycle, so we can talk about our vision boards for the year. But some of the things is like, what are some of the new ideas, some of the things that are popping up that we want to take action on? Put some mood boards together. Put like your own little spring bucket list or different things. Start breaking things out into the seasons. Like, okay, I have my overall vision board, the things that I want to, work on during the year, but on a seasonal basis for the next 3 months, these are the things that I'm hyper focused on. These are the new ideas. These are the new experiences. So create a mood board. I just believe in the power of visually seeing something, but write out a bucket list, the things that you want to break down season by season, and just start with this season, because it's going to help you start taking action immediately and not looking at like this board that's like up here for my whole year's plans, where I may not like crunch until the last quarter to do. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes we feel like we have all the time in the world. So break it down in that way. Decisiveness. Aries is also an energy that can be very impatient in ways, but one of the beauties about it being impatient is that it's decisive. It's ready to take action and make a decision right now, sometimes too quickly. So what are some things that you have been dragging along on making a decision on, and you need to take some action on now? You need to make a decision on it now. Use this energy to become decisively clear on just making a decision on something. Like, I've been dragging this along too long. I know I've been needing to do this and come to terms and make up my mind on it. Now I'm gonna make a decision either way and just flow with it. Whatever your intuition tells you, just go with that and don't backtrack. Don't get in your thoughts. Don't try to justify or make sense of it. Really taking action and being decisive on something, okay? Fire rituals. I mentioned candle magic earlier. I love candle magic, especially around, fire moons, like Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But Aries, for sure, play with some fire safely. Burn things, bonfire outside. For a lot of people, it's starting to warm up, so, to a certain degree. Nice time to get outdoors, connect with nature, get that bonfire going, send your intentions up to the ethers, write them out, burn them, let it go up to the ethers. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different things that you can do with fire, but please remember to do it safely, okay? So the herb that I would recommend you working with, because I know I haven't mentioned herbs and some people are like, you're not saying herbs anymore, so I'm gonna say my power herb. My power herb for this Aries new moon is ginger. Ginger is like, it's spicy like Aries. It's spicy like Aries season, and it was definitely gonna support you in terms of you having that, energy to like whoosh, So ginger, hold on, my phone is ringing. Sorry about that. So ginger is a great herb to use during Aries season to just add that that extra, ounce of energy and punch back behind everything that you're doing. The other thing that I would recommend power-wise, and my power crystal for Aries season, I love jasper, red jasper. I also love carnelian. So you can just choose between the two of them. Which one? Carnelian is the one I tend to gravitate towards more, but red jasper is just as powerful. There's also bloodstone. I know I said I was going to say one power crystal, but look, I just gave you 3. because I just thought of them on the top of my head. And the affirmation that I'm going to leave you with for this Aries new moon is, I am taking action on my desires, okay? So whatever you desire, whatever your intuition has been calling you to do, you're going to be taking action on that. I believe in you. We're all doing it together. And we don't have to know all the steps forward. We don't have to have all the answers. Trust me, I'm sitting in a unique position right now and in a place where I've never been in. When I say major transformation, like, I usually need to have a plan. I need to see a way forward. I need to know my next steps. And I'm just literally floating and floating and like flowing. I think that's what I want to say. Floating and flowing through this process, because I don't know what the next step is, but I am closing my eyes and I'm stepping out anyway, knowing that I'm being divinely guided, and where it's leading me is going to be to a place so beautiful. So hopefully you can take what I'm going through as inspiration to help you with whatever you're going through in your life. Because listen, when I tell you walking away from this was a big deal, it was a big deal for me. And I know for most people, like, that's just a job, just get another one. For me, that's not what it's about at all. It is a whole journey that I know I'm about to be sent on that is just divinely guided. So much more to come on that. I know I want to share more of my thoughts around that, but I just kind of wanted to preview kind of what I've been going through. And I hope you all have a wonderful Aries new moon. Aries gang. Where my Aries moons at? You know I love y'all. Y'all my people. We can be spicy sometimes, but that spice is definitely needed, all right? Because we will get things initiated and started, and you need that type of energy, all right? But anyway, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you're looking forward to for this new year, for this new cycle. What are you putting into action? Name one thing that you're gonna put into action down in the comments below, okay? And have a great one. Happy New Year, guys. I love you. See you in the next one. Peace.